Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Zig 0.10.0 release party. This time it's not going to be a Showtime episode for real. As you can see, there's no Showtime stuff anywhere. Before we start and I introduce Andrew, I just wanted to take a moment to point out one thing. We're going to talk about a bunch of technical aspects of the 0.10 release. We're going to talk about, there's going to be a bunch of announcements, other things that the community has made and we're going to see. But before we do all of this, I want to point out one thing. You have seen me, Andrew, and Jacob be the three people working full-time at the Zig Software Foundation for a while now. And finally, we are at the point where it's not just us three anymore. Veka has also joined full-time. And this news is amazing. And also, this is in good part thanks to everybody who has been supporting us and also the sponsors who has been supporting us enough to deserve to have their logo on the front page. So thank you, everybody. Also, one extra interesting thing. The last sponsor in this list is very new. It's from Japan. And they made a TLS 1.3 library for Zig, which is awesome. So usually you don't get that from sponsors. So anyway, that's the kind of project that we are, I guess. So I guess without further ado, here's Andrew. Hello, Andrew. Oh, shit. Wait. Yeah, you're muted. Oh, fuck. I knew I messed something up. Okay, let's do it again. Andrew.
Okay. Am I unmuted now? Okay, great.
Yeah, you are.
Hey, everybody. I'll just repeat everything so you didn't miss it. Don't worry. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the 0.10 release and what we've been up to for the last 10 months. So this was a 10-month release cycle. Usually we've been doing 6 to 7 months. So it was a long one. And it's because we really wanted to get the self-hosted compiler done in this release, and we did it. We shipped it. So to be honest, the thing that we spent the most time working on was that exactly, the self-hosted compiler. So it really sucked up most of our development time. And when I was going through, I don't know if you all looked at the release notes. Thank you for that link there, NovaGlow. If you look at these release notes, they're pretty long. There's a lot of stuff in there. But when I was going through the commit log, I skipped most of the commits because most of the commits were just relentlessly working on the self-hosted compiler. So this is just all the little like extra fun stuff we got done on the side. That's what those release notes are. You see what I'm saying? So I think there's going to be quite a different flavor of release notes in the 0.10 release. We're going to be working on a lot more than just the guts, reworking the guts of the compiler. But if I were to highlight one particular thing in these release notes that I want to show you, I think what I would point out to you is the inline else switch cases. So if you haven't figured out what these are, this is kind of like taking Zig's comp time feature, everything we have, and just filling in one more thing that just seems like it kind of belongs in there. You know, we have inline while loops, inline for loops, inline functions, and now we also have inline switch cases. Now, what's interesting about this one for me is that I didn't come up with this idea. And I also didn't implement it. So even though I'm the leader of the Zig project and the creator, inline switch cases are something that was created by other people in the Zig project. The only thing I did was just give it a stamp of approval. And it's great. It's a brilliant feature. It fits in perfectly with Zig's philosophy, and Veka did an excellent job implementing it. So that's my highlight from the release. How about you, Loris? Is there anything that you want to point out from the release?
You stole my highlight.
That was my intention. I got him.
He stole my highlight. Yeah.
Not only did I steal your highlight, I told you I was going to steal your highlight.
He told me. I didn't take him seriously. He actually did it. Holy shit. You know what? Okay, so I'll add the other, I guess, side of the coin. Like, what I find awesome about inline switch cases is that now runtime polymorphism, like tagged union based interfaces, they're so easy. You just do inline else. I'll write so dibs on writing a blog post about this. So for people who don't know what I'm talking about because you didn't have the opportunity to think about how runtime polymorphism can be implemented in Zig, I write a neat blog post. But basically, every time you wanted to do runtime polymorphism through a tagged union, you had to wire every single method and use a switch and a case inside the switch for each concrete implementation that you want to hide behind the union. Now it's a one-liner every single time. It's so good. So good.
Real quick, did I give credit to Specs Guy for creating the proposal for that? I think I just forgot to mention his name. Anyway, that was Martin, Specs Guy.
Oh, that was
for the proposal, and Vexu for the implementation.
Right. Okay, awesome. So now let's see if we can find somebody else who might want to give his opinion about the what his favorite allied. So let me introduce Jacob. Hey, Jacob.
Wait, hello.
Make sure to mute the stream, otherwise you'll hear us twice.
I hear it twice. Okay. Wait. I've not. It's been so long. I've done it. So okay, you can't see me, can you?
No, we cannot. You have to enable the camera.
I was on.
While Jacob is setting up, Loris, I just realized that you did actually write down what your release highlight was in the notes. I did not see that ahead of time. I'm sorry.
There we go.
Hello.
Hello.
Right,
hey.
This way. My setup is not as professional as yours, so
you look great. Holy shit!
Thank you. I don't have space on my desk. Actually, I'm sorry. I'm gonna like completely side rail everything right now. I just received my Windows developer kit with ARM on it, and it works. And I wanted to stream from this, but it's Windows, so I didn't manage to get it working yet.
Windows moment.
But yeah, but we're getting there. So, and Zig works. Actually,
on ARM64 Windows.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, actually, I built the what you call like Zcoff, the parser for cough, and it's fine. And I actually started analyzing the binaries. So yeah, there we go.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jacob, what's your release highlight?
My release highlight, I had a few, but the one I'm mostly happy about is the rewrite. Another one that's probably like the 5th rewrite or something of the Mako linker. That we are getting there, kind of becoming competitive with LD and LD64. We're faster than LD64, and we're almost on par. Well, I'm saying almost, but we're getting closer to LD. Somebody asked in stream about mold. The problem with mold is that last time I checked, it was pretty buggy on ARM64 macOS, so I couldn't retest it. Because as far as I know, Rui's I don't want to maybe it changed. I have no idea, but Rui was putting a lot of effort into ELF first and foremost. So when it comes out, it's probably gonna be faster because it's using all the concurrency you can get. The funny thing about our implementation is that the only concurrency we use is for hashing. Everything else is single-threaded, so we have so many opportunities to parallelize this. This is insane, and if we do, it's probably going to become really fast.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, by the way, sorry. Before we go on, we made a mistake here earlier. We got to give serious credit to Johnny Marler for Zig running on ARM64 Windows.
Oh, nice. He's my hero.
He did all that.
Awesome.
He did all that work. Yeah, and then he also chased this weird bug with like ARM64 Windows Zig interacting with Go, which ended up fixing a bug in Go's runtime.
Oh yeah,
he spent like a whole year doing that. Yeah, and then they didn't even give him credit in like the Go changelog. So we better give him credit here, or he's gonna like burn a house down or something.
we did though.
I hope not.
We did celebrate that though at the pub on the last day of Software Economy.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh man, I wasn't part of this. I had no idea, Johnny. I'm sorry. Thanks to you, I can actually do stuff on Windows now. On ARM64, I mean. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I was on the ice cream day.
Yeah. Well, fly. There we go. Yeah. I always
Best
miss out
day.
on the good stuff. It's like,
That's
Yeah,
really
so that's
nice.
the highlight.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Do you want me to demo? I can quickly demo it. I
for
wanted
it.
to actually compare it with.
Yep.
I
Share
wanted
your
to
screen,
compare it
Starkite.
with what we had. Can you guys see this? Can everybody see? Oh, sorry, I changed layouts. Can everybody see this? Is it okay? Is it too small?
okay.
I think
bit
I think you should increase a little bit.
Better?
I did not see any. Okay, now it's changed. Maybe a bit more still. There we go. This seems more reasonable.
So okay, so a slight disclaimer here. The way I'm comparing performance is I'm basically cutting every single middleman we have. So no zig. Per se, what I do, I built a standalone ZLD, and then I ran it. Let me show you. And then I ran it as a standard, like a linker command. Basically, what we do internally as the final stage of the compiler, I do manually here.
And that makes it fair because that's what the other
right,
linkers are
exactly.
doing.
Because otherwise, we're actually slowed down by all the other niceties that we do, like creating archives and things like this, which we don't want to compare.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be making us slower. So the other thing that I'm always comparing with on nowadays is the fact that I always dead strip this little thing here. Which basically what it means, this is like garbage collecting sections in ELF. So we will actually collect atoms that are not used and just track them out. So the binaries actually get smaller. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but this release, the binaries for macOS are smaller than the previous one.
Are they? Wait, let's look.
Yeah. Do you want me to? I can.
Yeah, pull up your browser. I want to see.
Wait, let me hide this. Hide the stream. Actually, let's not do the browser. I had it somewhere. We have 0.9. It's 152 megabytes. That's the previous one, right? That's for ARM64. 0.10 is 146.
Yeah, nice work. Holy shit.
So this actually works. Right. So we have this working. It's fine. There's still things missing. Like we don't have unwind info being generated, which kind of sucks for crash reports and things. But we'll get there. We don't dedupe C strings, but these are like, except for the unwind info, everything else like a nice to have optimization, which is not really required, but we will do it at some point. I promise. So, and then I use Hyperfine to actually run the comparison. Usually do like a warm up of 5, just to get rid of all the or most of the statistical deviation here. And by the way, this one is actually already using parallelism for SHA-256 together with better. We're actually using SHA instructions, I think, to actually encode the hashes. It's actually 2.2.
Yeah, you're on the M1, right?
Yeah, I'm on the M1. It's 2.2 seconds because I'm streaming. Normally it's 1.8. So LD is going to be probably like 1.5, I would say, or something, maybe a bit less.
It would be funny
1.2.
Is if, sorry, this is just a total random tangent. It's affected by the performance of streaming, right? But the streaming is doing compression on your video stream. So it'd be funny if you could do certain movements in the camera that take longer to compress.
Oh my God, if that happened, that'd be horrible. That'd be absolutely horrible. Yeah, so it went a bit. It's on if you run it with nothing else but just linking, it's 1.85 for us. It's 1.1 or less for LD, and it's like 2.3 or 2.2 for LD64, which is the last one. So yeah, so we're getting there. I think it's pretty good.
Very nice.
And I'm actually kind of happy with this result because, and I actually didn't describe it in the release notes because there was too much technical noise, I thought. it actually uses most of the stuff is either out of band or it's DoD oriented in the sense that we only store only the cache friendly things are being stored. However, there are still areas where we can improve on this. So I've even been playing with what do you call it? Tracy, right? To profile it. And surprising thing is Tracy actually works with stage 1.
Yeah, we got some kind of debug info situation.
Yeah, there is something is missing. So, but easily fixable for stage 2. So yeah, that's me.
Nice.
Let me stop sharing. Stop streaming. There we go. Yeah, so that's my highlight.
That's your
Cool.
highlight. Nice. Okay, so now that the 0.10 release is done, Jacob, what's next on your plate?
Well, Andrew's pestering me to work on x86. I would like to work on ARM64. So
Right.
to keep both happy, I'm probably gonna do both. I obviously ARM64 is gonna be with together with Joachim. He's the
Do
mastermind.
ARM's fine. That's fine with me.
No, dude. It's a joke.
Oh, you're
yeah,
just-
so basically
you're
for
just
me, it's
shitting
the
on me.
self-hosted backends. It's x86 and ARM64, ELF, and Mako.
Right.
In no particular order, like how they end up, that's what's gonna be. Although I have a shiny new Windows machine, so maybe I'm just gonna start with this. Who knows?
I might be biased, but I really think that ARM64 Linux is the highest priority. I don't know. That's how I feel.
ARM64 Linux. I see. So is
Yeah,
that...
and then you and Mitchell can be happy, and nobody else.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, is anything to do with like Asahi Linux or something or similar?
It's
Yeah.
because he uses an M1 with Linux,
I know.
NixOS, in a VM.
It's
And I'm
the
stuck-
best setup.
And I'm stuck.
Okay,
in
but yeah,
on my desk.
if I could get an ARM64 Linux desktop, I would. Those don't exist.
You can get a M2 Mac Studio something and run the Linux VM.
VM, get out of here.
Yeah, Andrew convinced me.
I want an M.
We don't do VMs. If it's not physical, it doesn't exist.
It's fine. It's fine. Okay. You guys don't know what you're missing, though. awesome.
But you don't know what you're missing.
You mean
With the Windows one? Is that what
Oh
you're saying?
God, yeah. Jacob, I think you might be the only human being on this planet who is not being forced to use an ARM Windows machine. That is
know.
my fear.
I know, and not only this, to get it here, I had. So what happened was that Microsoft is going back in time. They like region locked their DVDs, right? You remember those? You had DVD that was region locked, like some weird number, and then you had like 5 attempts every month. Or no, I think that was actually for life. You could change your regions, I think, for DVD player, something like this. I can't remember. So Microsoft did the same thing. They said for 8 regions. And in Europe, it was only like France and Germany. That's it. So what I did, I ordered via Microsoft German store to Joachim, who was kind enough to pick it up. Then he actually played, like he pasted another like shipping label to send it with DHL from Germany to me. So I'm eternally grateful to him, and it actually was very smooth. It got
What a
here
pal.
so fast, amazing. So yeah, there you go.
Well, that is indeed awesome. Jacob, thank you for keeping us up to date. I think that I am really looking forward to the day where you can finally flex your macho muscle completely and show everybody what incremental computation is gonna do.
Oh yes. Yeah. That's on the table as well. Obviously, we already have proof of concepts, and yep, that's definitely gonna happen. So should be exciting.
Thank you very much, and
Thanks,
I
guys.
hope to see you soon.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so Jacob told us what he's going to work on next. Andrew, what's next for you?
Okay, what's next for me is unlocking the ability for us to iterate on the language. Now, we have a couple of blockers for that because we were talking about inline switch cases earlier. Problem is, we can't use them yet in the standard library or the self-hosted compiler because they're only implemented in the self-hosted compiler. They're not implemented in the stage 1 compiler. So in order to be able to use this language feature in Dogfooded and so on, we need to have the stage 1 compiler be able to support that. But we're not planning on editing that code base. We're planning on booting it out and replacing it with the C backend thing. If only it were possible for Zig to compile itself into C code so that we could do this.
If only.
If only.
If only.
So that's one component. Another component is getting async await done, because if we take away the ability to do stage 1, then people will lose the ability to do async await. We need to keep that working. That's a language feature. Also, the language reference depends on that. So that's a prerequisite. So the next two things for me are get async await done, get our stage 1 capable of being iterated on the same way that stage 2 is, so that we can start implementing language changes and use them in the standard library and in the self-hosted compiler. That's what's immediately next for me, is unlocking language changes phase of our development process.
Nice. Makes sense.
Yeah. What about you?
For me, I have 3 main things that I want to work on next. One is Autodoc. There's a giant pile of things that need to be done for Autodoc. I'm happy with what we made up until now. I'm also happy that I got some help. It wasn't just me working on it. So we have for people in chat, by the way, we have a chat channel in the main Discord server. There's a guide on the wiki in the Zig repository. If you're looking to, contribute on something, wink, wink, we're hiring. We don't pay, but we're hiring. But no, it's been great. The problem is that it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to get feature parity with other languages, and also I kind of would want to get past what some of other languages have. Like, I'll give an example of a language that I really like. I like Go. I unapologetically like Go. But the documentation, like a lot of things are kind of like very basic in Go. The documentation, I kind of think it also falls in that category, and it's nice. I can use it. I don't mind it. But I wish the Zig documentation could be cooler. Problem is, it's a lot of work to get there. So Autodoc is going to be one for sure. Also, I'm not working on Autodoc as my main thing. Among the many reasons why it's taking a while for Autodoc to move forward is because it's one of the things that I do, not the main one. Another one is that I promised to look at the CI stuff for Zig. Yep. I was talking about this earlier in the pre-show, but I might be naively assuming that there's like an easy solution to make them work nicely without too much fuzz. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. We'll see. But I have the feeling that they like CI can be done in an easy way, in a way that doesn't cause us much trouble. So we'll see. And the third one, which I actually believe is going to be my main, maybe not exactly the main, but one of my main things for this next year is going to be in-person events, helping people set up in-person events. And there's been a lot of work in the community in that regard. We have a bunch of meetups that have been running regularly, or at least have done like 1 or 2 events. Yo! Hey, there's Andreas Kling in chat. Hello! Thank you for being here. So in meetups, I want to say thank you to all the people that have organized meetups. I know it's tough. I know it's especially tough if you're a software developer, because meetups exist in this weird space. Organizing meetups is a thing that exists in this weird space where it's not your core competence. how do you get a space? Like the first day, the first time you decide to run a meetup, you have to find a space, and you don't know how to do that. You have to figure it out, and there's no spec. You can't buy a for Dummies book that tells you how to do that.
I know.
So
critical thinking is so hard.
Yeah, so they exist in this weird space, and I know it's uncomfortable to run them, and then you don't know if people will show up. So it's also, in a sense, also a thing that, you're exposed while you do this. So thank you to everybody. I know it's not always easy. I've seen some meetups go well, be promising. I've seen some other meetups being set up in the best way possible, but the environment, it's not yet ready to host a Zig meetup there, like a recurring one. So I'm there with you. If you are thinking of running a meetup and you have questions, reach out to me. I'm happy to tell. I don't have the perfect formula to make every meetup successful, but I'm happy to talk with you about them. A couple of interesting examples. Actually, one example of a thing that I'm trying to organize. This is not a promise at all, to be clear. But Adam Serafini, who presented at PyCon DE a while ago a very nice talk about how to speed up Python with Zig, also mentioned that there was a potential opportunity to host at his company a meetup in Berlin. So that would be a Berlin meetup. The problem is that right now we don't have anybody who was willing to accept his offer and run a regular meetup there. So what I propose is to run a one-off meetup where I don't live in Berlin, but it's not that far, so I can travel there once, have a good Berlin meetup, and who knows, maybe that will excite somebody enough that they will want to take on the mantle of being a meetup runner. We'll see. In any case, if you're interested, make sure to snoop around the usual channels. I would say make sure at least to take a look at the meetups channel in the Zig Discord server, or I don't know, follow me on Twitter or something. Talking about in-person events, so this was one example, but I think it might be nice to spend a couple words on, actually for me to pat my own back on stream a little bit and talk about Software You Can Love, which we just run pretty much. And I know that there's a bunch of people here in chat who wear Software You Can Love here in Milan, where I live, so that's pretty cool. And I think a lot of things were interesting about Software You Can Love. Not everything was perfect. I can tell you already that I have a very long list of things that I want to improve for the next one. But it was nice. It was, in my opinion, it was a great improvement over the April event, in my opinion. But there's one thing that blew my mind. We had 2 workshops. One was run by Andrew, and it was really good. But he's the BDFL, so that's kind of expected. He better be good. But there was another one. So I want to get on stream one of the people who were running the other meetup. So let's get on stream Matt Knight. Hello, Matt. Matt?
How's that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yo.
We're good? Okay, cool.
Yes. Hello. How are you, Matt?
Hello, how's it going? Pretty good.
We're doing fine too. So, okay. So here's the full story. Matt and Felix have organized a Zig Embedded Group workshop where they showed people how to do stuff with MicroZig. I asked for feedback to the people that went there. I have one quote that has remained in my mind even now. People said that you guys told everybody in the beginning that at least 1 hour of the meetup was going to be wasted on fixing weird trouble when, deploying the code to the microcontroller, usual embedded development issues and troubleshooting. And then everything worked out first try on regardless of the platform. There were people on Windows, on Mac, on Linux, and everything worked first try for everybody, which is mind-blowing. So I don't know. What do you have to say to defend yourself?
Yeah, I was like, it's been the Zig embedded stuff has been largely an experiment. Like Felix and I are on like the same page, Vesem's on the same page, but then there's like, what happens when you get someone like completely brand new, doesn't even know how to breadboard, and then you tell them like, okay, go do this, and I was like super surprised. Everything worked perfectly. I mean, when I started, I remember, I think my first like programmer rage was getting like an Arduino, like the serial port wouldn't work. And there was like, I was like, I think 17. I had no idea like what a serial port was. And I just like, I was following the directions and it wouldn't work. So, and it's just been like that through, school, and it's just like part of it. And then for everyone there to not experience that was awesome. So it feels like the experiment is a success and we can just continue on and build a lot of really cool things.
Yeah. I think that's absolutely worth it. That was very surprising, also based on my limited but also my experience. Let me think. You know what? Before we move to the next point, I have a question. Andrew, I don't know, what's your favorite memory from Software You Can Love? Do you have one?
Ooh, favorite memory.
Yeah, the one thing that pops to your mind. I don't know.
I'm just glad that King got home okay after dropping his wallet in the subway.
Oh God, yeah, that was
Yeah.
troubling.
My favorite memory was looking over and seeing Veka and King bonding over Rubik's cubes at one
Nice.
of the restaurants. Just a moment that was unplanned. They just happened to be there. They just happened to share an interest, and then we're just futzing with the Rubik's cube over
Nice.
there.
Yeah. I think mine would be Steven's love for cheese wheels. And apparently he was able to get them through border security. Good for him. Awesome.
That's just some cheese.
Matt, do you have one aside from the workshop?
I'm trying to think. This is difficult. I think I know what my least favorite moment was, which was having like, I think the first night I got to meet Agni, and then we were walking home, and then Agni, he'd say goodbye, and then like 3 minutes later we'd like run into him, and he did this 4 times to us. So I went through like the emotional turmoil of having to say goodbye to someone multiple times in the span of like 20 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah, for best, I think I love chatting with people. Like just like going to a meal with people I didn't know was great. Like meeting Jeff Fowler and Bjarne. Didn't know them, just had food, and then we were able to just like chat and shoot the shit.
Yeah.
Another one for me would be when Mason and I got stuck in Milan because of the strikes, and then Stevie and Luke let us each share a hotel bed with them so that we didn't have to sleep on the street. That was nice.
Yeah, that was cool. I really think so. One reason why I think that focusing on in-person events is worth it is not just to party hard. I mean, it's nice. I mean, okay, let me start again. I'm not the kind of person that really has the, I don't know, like energy to be social all the time. And I assume the same applies to everybody. Most people probably here.
I don't know about that.
Except Matt Knight. except Matt, of course.
Throw some like secret Hitler and you're at like 100% for like an hour straight.
But I do think, man, I remember the difference, like the feeling. Okay, here's the picture, the mental picture. When you go skating and then you go on rollerblades and then you take them off and you feel like there's something wrong with your feet. It was the same after the event. We went over, the event was over, and now everything that was left was Twitter wars,
Oh, I see.
people posting stuff that makes no sense on Hacker News. So there's value in in-person events aside from the immediate, I don't know, dopamine, being social. Let's go drink together. There's something more there. That's why I think they're valuable. Which brings me to the next topic. So, Matt. By the way, next software you can love. Actually, I should say.
I want to interject before we go into this. I do have photos from the workshop so that like the viewers can see like what it looked like. All right, cool. I'm gonna. Ooh. So, if you're wondering, yes, I am using River as my desktop manager or window manager.
Man,
Nice.
the River install party also.
Yeah, that was
So this is a first image that Felix took of the kit. We're unboxing it. This is what it looks like, plugged in. It's pretty simple, but there's like a lot of complexity in these parts. This is us during the day 2. Felix looks super smug right now because in this day he was just like, I'm just gonna get Microzig working on an architecture we haven't done before, because usually we run it on ARM and we run it on AVR. RISC-V and like MSP 430 other targets are they're TBD, but he got it running on this ESP 32-C3, which is a RISC-V processor. That's why it looks like that. And of course we have Luke, who's great.
That explains why he was asking me why RISC-V 32 was a tier 4 instead of a higher one. I guess
because it like worked. Yeah, it was. It's awesome. And so here's everyone in our workshop. Felix had this awesome oscilloscope that had an HDMI output, so he was able to just like hook it up to a giant monitor, and then we were able to like probe things in the circuit and show people the electrical signals. That's some photos. So this is okay. So there was like the debugging aspect, and then there was the breadboard. So the breadboarding part was like this is kind of like, I wasn't sure how this was going to go over because we have software engineers, and then this is like forcing a bunch of non-programmers to use the command line in a way, because it can be like kind of weird spatially, and then you have like different like number sets, and you have to do like weird transformations in your head. But everyone seemed to enjoy it, and it was a ton of fun. Here's Kami, and then here's an adorable photo of these two gentlemen. I think this one's my favorite. But yeah, that was we had. This is what our kit looked like. It's pretty affordable. I'm pretty pleased about that.
Nice.
And I think what we're gonna do, like, it was a 4-hour workshop. I want to be able to have like longer versions of it, maybe different like flavors depending on like how people are feeling. Like, we could have one where like you build your own synth, and then you use one of the languages for making languages for synthesizers, and you can like run it on your little microcontroller and make music.
If you do that, we're not having a debugging workshop that year, so I can attend.
Awesome.
Okay, so the next software you can love, which I should call Software You Can Love Milan, you'll see in a moment why. It's probably going to be in April 2024. So it's I guess it's more than 1 year, but it's 1 year since the last, plus the extra time needed to sync back to April. I wanted to have this one in October, and I learned my lesson. It's not good to have the conference in October, not from a weather perspective or for the experience of the attendees, but from an organizational perspective. For me, it was bit problematic. So lesson learned. So yeah, next Software You Can Love Milan is gonna be in April, but there might be a way of experiencing Matt's and Felix's workshop before then. Matt, what do you have to tell us?
Yeah, I don't want to wait that long. So I can't give like any official details, but I want to do one in June. Yeah, June in Vancouver of 2023. And then we get like, you don't have to wait more than a year.
So that's Software You Can Love Vancouver.
Yeah, or Software You Van Love. Tentative name.
Avoiding the name which should not be spoken.
Yeah, so we are, I've been talking with Matt, and we are, I would say we don't have the details yet, but we're pretty serious with it, right, Matt?
Yep.
I mean,
Yep,
you'll have
super
to do most
serious.
of the work, but
Yeah, actually, it'll be super nice because, like, Loris, you're gonna be able to enjoy yourself for once.
yeah. Yeah, yep. I mean, it's nice also as the organizer, but I think the attendees have it. The best experience is the one of an attendee. It's better than the one of the organizer. But somebody has to be the organizer. So
Yeah.
totally
I'm
looking
okay.
forward to that.
I think it should be Software Vancouver Love. Then it's SVCL. And it's like the little
that-
Y thing is missing.
Oh, ooh, dude, I like it.
SVCL.
Okay. We'll have to. We'll put that one on the whiteboard. We'll see how
I
it goes.
I think someday the Kronos group, like secret police, is gonna come and tear down our door and hit us.
Oh no.
Software You Canada Love.
Oh no.
Oh, that's also really good.
Yeah. No.
Okay, that's great, Matt. That's gonna be awesome. That's gonna really be awesome. Well, looking forward to do more progress so that we can actually announce the details. I would say, Matt, thank you very much for being here, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah, thanks.
Hopefully.
Yeah, thank you. Everyone, go check out the Zig Embedded group on GitHub. I'll throw a link down into chat later. We would love come in. We'll build some really cool things.
Nice. There's also going to be a video from Matt afterwards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So make sure to check that out as well. It's going to be super cool. Thank you again, Matt. It's been awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
Matt.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so tentative Berlin meetup, tentative Software You Can Love Vancouver. It's gonna be interesting for people, in the other continent, in the new continent. But that's not all. There's one more thing.
There's more continents?
I'm not sure, but at least, I think technically, yeah, there's more continents and more events. So let me pull in the next guest, who is Phil, who works at Tiger Beetle, and he's gonna talk about another event. So hello, Phil.
Don't forget to mute the stream.
Yeah, don't forget to hit the stream.
Hear me?
There we go. Yes, now we
Hey,
can
Phil.
hear you. Hello.
Hey.
So Phil, I don't know. What's the next event that you want to talk about?
Yeah. I guess I should also clarify if folks don't know who Tiger Beetle is. We're one of the companies that are using Tiger Beetle, that are using Zig, not in production yet, but we build an open source database for accounting, and the entire database is written in Zig. And one of the big things we've got planned for next year is an educational distributed systems and systems programming conference It's going to be a 2-day thing. It's going to be in Cape Town, South Africa, next February 9th and 10th. We've got some pretty awesome speakers coming. You may know of Andrew Kelly, Loris Crow.
That guy.
We've also got yeah. They agreed to come. We've got the CEO of Nats, the streaming open source streaming software, Derek Collison. He's going to be coming by. We've got Jamie Brandon, who organized High Trad Boy. We've got a number of really awesome folks coming who build open source databases, who run database companies, who build distributed systems companies. And the goal is to teach people systems and distributed systems and to make it more accessible for programmers who may not be so exposed to that. So this is the first time that we are announcing this publicly, and I'm kind of embarrassed by that because I don't have the website for it yet. But after this, for folks who are interested in that sort of thing, the tickets are going to be like $50 per person. We encourage you to get your company to sponsor it if you can, and if that's still a problem, you can get in touch. All of the ticket sales after the costs are going to be going to the Zig Software Foundation as well, so it's for a good cause. And yeah, since I don't have a I want to share just can I share my screen?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, this is just a snippet just to get you excited. Yeah, this is not live yet, but as soon as it is, we'll be sharing that. So if you're not already on the Tiger Beetle Slack or mailing list, then if you just go to tigerbeetle.com, you can join our mailing list or Slack. And yeah, as soon as we have the website, we'll be sharing it with you.
Is that a concurrency joke there that the systems distributed is out of order? It's clever.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you very much, Phil. Before you go, I have a question for you. So you were also a Software You Can Love. What was the thing that stuck, that left an impression for you the most?
Good question. There's a lot of good food. There's a lot of folks who helped me with my silly Zig problems. Like I was working on a RocksDB project, and I had trouble getting it to build or to compile and link on Mac, and it was around to help me out, and that was awesome. It was great to meet so many folks in the community. I'm especially new to Zig too, so it's kind of a really great intro for me.
Nice. Well, I am definitely looking forward to the Cape Town event. So I don't know, for anybody who is interested, I think what's interesting, one thing that you mentioned that it's particularly interesting is that it's not a Zig event per se. Like everything that we mentioned up until now were Zig meetups or like Software You Can Love, which is not a Zig event exactly, but it is organized by people like in the community. So it like at the center of the community at night. So it pretty much is to some degree. But in your case, it's an event about distributed systems and systems programming, and the idea is to make these concepts that are considered very tough and hard to tackle, to the point where some people say that you shouldn't, right? You shouldn't even attempt. All you can do is just be a user, and I think it's definitely available to try to break that way of looking at things and make people, take on the responsibility that we should carry as programmers and software engineers. So that's really nice. I'm really looking forward to be there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm excited, and like I said, until that website's out there, if you want to just keep in touch, join the Slack channel. It's on our site, tigerbeetle.com, or the mailing list.
Nice. By the way, I can hear that you live in New York.
It's a nostalgic noise for me.
Nice. Well, Phil, thank you very much. See you soon. See you in Cape Town.
Thank you, Phil.
Okay, so we are at the end. We are at the point where we're going to play the videos. Are you ready, Andrew?
Ooh, yeah, let me get the full screen going here.
Yeah.
Usually I put your face in a tiny little window next to the camera so that I'm looking at the camera, but now, okay, I'm ready to look at the screen.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna need a moment also to do my own setup. So, okay, I'm gonna switch to the background.
Man, I really do not miss falling asleep to the sounds of fire trucks and ambulances. That's good riddance. Or jackhammers in the ground right outside your open window.
Okay, you should be able to see my stream.
Yes.
Okay. That's good. Okay, so we have 12 videos. Ben, people have really sent us interesting stuff. Andrew has not seen them yet, so this is going to be his first time seeing them. The first one is from Joachim, and it's about his work on the Arch 64 backend.
Hi everyone, I'm Joachim. I'm in the SIG core team. I work on the ARM and ARM64 backends. First of all, a big thank you and big kudos to those who worked on this release cycle, who worked on ironing out bugs. Really great work done there. I'm going to demo a quick insignificant progress in the ARM64 backend, namely printing out the number of tests passed. Whoops, this is incorrect. This should
Wait, what?
So in the old test runner, we don't get a number of tests passed, but in my current local branch, we get a number of tests, and we can see that about 580 behavior tests are passing. Thanks very much, and congratulations to 0.10.
I can't believe you kept a straight face through that whole thing.
Yep, he did. Where is it? Oh, where did he put it?
He sent me the actual picture that this is from earlier and said, like, "Hey, I accidentally recreated your your profile picture." Where did he get? Wait, where did he get this whole picture from? I don't even remember putting this on the internet. Huh. Maybe I uploaded it somewhere.
I think you shared it in Discord.
Oh, I see.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
That's really funny.
Okay, next one is from August, and it's about ZLS. Also, before I played, so this guy, since I gave only 64 seconds to everybody has been editing the beginning, the end, cutting away everything. He didn't. He kept the beginning where he turns on OBS on purpose because he speaks so fast. He's flexing on us in that video. So everybody, get ready because he's gonna speak at the speed of light.
Testing. So a fun fact about me is that I love tools, and that's why Matt Knight is my best friend. Hi, I'm August, Super August on GitHub, or I'm on Discord, and what I really want to show you today, stuff about me, is a ZLS comp time demo. So comp time in ZLS has always been like a big problem, but now if I hover over this, I'll get this. Pretty nice. Changes 252 is going to be a different value, right? 69 in theory. Yes, there we go. But what if my 30 doesn't fit in my type? Make this a U3. I get an error. Pretty nice. Let's say I want to debug this. My code isn't working, what's going on? Do this, and I get debug output. So yeah, some stuff I've been working on, and hopefully this will be in ZLS very soon, and we would enjoy it. Also, Matt, we beyond all reason tonight? Like, I'm down. Like, hit me up. Anyways,
bye. He didn't keep a straight face at the end. I see it. Wow, that was very cool. That's nice. That user experience was really worthwhile.
He's re-implementing comp time.
Yeah.
bonkers. Also,
That's how
people
it's done.
are saying that he speaks at 2x. He lives at 2x. Like, he exists at 2x. uh,
Yeah, when you talk to August, you feel like he's trying to have a conversation with a tree, and you are the tree.
yeah, you're the ant, like in Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah.
Okay, next one is from Captain Horst, and it's Zero Man.
Zero Man. Okay.
Hi, I'm Fabio from Germany. I'm interested in using Zig for game development, and today I would like to show you Zero Man. Zero Man is a very basic clone of a classic Mega Man game, but with Zero as a main character. I'm not so happy with this current death animation. Let's jump on this conveniently placed spike to show you what I mean. I think the effect bubbles move and animate way too slowly. Let's try to tweak this by first taking a snapshot just before Zero's death. Now we can replay his death over and over by loading the snapshot. We changed the code to increase the animation speed and the movement of the bubbles. Hit save. Much better. As you might have noticed, Zig recompiles the wasm binary nearly instantaneously. This makes iterating on game features very pleasant. And that's all I have. Bye!
Wow.
Yeah,
I
it was
wonder.
pretty nice.
I wonder, is he using Luke's backend or the LLVM backend?
I'm not sure. Maybe he's in chat and can answer the question. Let's see.
That was nice.
I think he might be using LLVM still, though. But of course, with the backend, yeah, okay, Captain Horst just replied LLVM.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
So, man, once you switch to the backends, then it's oof.
Wait, Steven's asking, how do you switch to Luke's backend? You pass in F no LLVM.
Fuck, no LLVM. Okay, never mind. Okay, next one is from Ali, and it's about libsound.io.
Oh. By the way, the videos have been a little bit quiet.
I know. I did not
Okay.
normalize them. I'm trying to adjust the volume a little bit. But yeah, some are gonna be louder, some are gonna be quieter. Sorry.
Hello everyone, I am working on Sound.io Riverwrite in Zig, which is a cross-platform C library for audio input-output. And yeah, it's made by Andrew. And so the Pulse IDEO backend is functional, Jack and PyFires is still work in progress. And other backends such as WAS API, ALSA and CoreIDEO has Blend. I'm not trying to make a one-to-one copy, so the API is a bit different, and there's also some bugs fixed from the original code base. This is a sine wave example which decreases the volume smoothly using the Pulse IDEO backend. That's it. Thanks for watching.
Nice. Wow. A rewrite in Zig. That's cool.
Nice.
That was something I was planning on doing eventually.
People are sniping your projects.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. I can just move on to the DAW then.
Okay.
Also, because Phil was talking about RocksDB, and I learned from reading his blog post that RocksDB is the successor of LevelDB, which is what I used in my music player server for the music database. So that's also part of it.
Nice. Okay, next one is from Srekel, who is also running the Stockholm meetup. And he's going to talk about, I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, but I think it's Elbengroin. So there we go.
Hi, I'm Anders, and I'm working on the Elbengroin Legacy. This is a super ambitious project, and it's something that I wanted to do since I was a teenager, basically. More specifically, it's a massive, dynamic, open world, fantasy, first person, third person RPG. The world is procedurally generated offline, and this potentially allows me to spend weeks generating a large, complex, and deep world. I'm making it open source, and that's super exciting because I'm not really bound by it being a financial success. And that means that I can just wildly experiment with cool design ideas. Eventually, or slowly, I'd like to build up a team working on it, a diverse team. There's no shortage of cool things to make. And here, somewhere, are my current guiding principles. Thank you for listening. I hope it excites you as much as it excites me.
Wow.
Nice.
That looks like the kind
Okay.
of thing that, like, once it gets further along, you could just open up and just get completely lost in.
Yeah. Okay, next one. So you know what's funny is that we have a good amount of like game videos that were sent, and I was able to space, you know, the text heavy, the compiler internals heavy submissions with the game ones. Super cool. Okay, so next one is from Jacob Lee. This one doesn't have any sound, so if you don't hear anything, it's because there's nothing to hear. It was actually originally sent to me as a cinema recording. I just made a video out of it because it's easier for me to show. So take a look. So what's happening here? I hope you know what, it might be too small for the people watching, so I'm switching to the full screen view. So what's happening here is that he just compiled Zig with the C backend. Took 10 seconds, 620 megabytes more or less max memory, and now he's actually doing Zig run on the C compiled Zig.
And he's doing it in hard mode too, because he's compiling a debug build which has all of the panic safety checks and stuff in there.
Yeah. Okay. Quiz. How long is it gonna take? You have to reply fast.
45 seconds.
Yeah, not bad.
Oh, 34.
34.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
That's
works.
Amazing.
It's done.
I cheated because I played with that earlier before the stream today. That's how I knew. But I used the release build, so it was a little faster. That's amazing work. Holy shit.
Yeah.
This is a big deal because, I mean, this was like one out of two things that I was planning on doing next, and now it's already done.
Yep. And okay, so the next entry is from Stewie Hershoe. And it's like part 2. Now that you know about the C backend, now you can appreciate exactly what Stewie is doing.
I'm going to show you a tree sitter parser that uses Zig. Lots of code editors support custom languages via text-mate grammars. These are plist files that describe your grammar rules. I recently switched to the Helix editor, which doesn't use these text-mate grammars, but instead uses Tree Sitter. Tree Sitter is a library for parsing code. It has a C API for editors that exposes the syntax tree, which affords more powerful navigation, editing, and highlighting. It also has a C API for defining grammars, plus a high-level JavaScript API and tooling to compile these grammars into C. For fun, I wanted to make a tree sitter grammar for a friend's language, but the JavaScript API alone can't fully describe an indentation-sensitive language. For this, you have to define some tokens as externals whose lexing is delegated to a custom C function. Jacobli's awesome C backend improvements were just merged, so let's make a basic scanner in Zig. We define a constructor and a destructor, and some serialization logic. Then, our token scanning logic. We set the output format to C, and Zig build spits out C files. Tree sitter tooling does the rest. We point Helix to these assets, then have it fetch and build them. It compiles the generated C and loads the library. Now we can use this custom language in Helix.
Holy shit. This was like less than 24 hours since we merged that pull request.
He was saying earlier in chat that he was even using the unmerged PR branch.
Oh, wow.
to make it work.
My goodness.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the C backend I think opens a lot of very interesting possibilities. We're obviously not the first language to do this, but
Right.
but it's a new thing in the Zig ecosystem, and man, you don't have to write C, and you get all the good things from C when it comes like to compilers, right?
Yeah.
Best of both
Holy
worlds.
shit. That was, man, he put that together. That was so smooth too.
That was so
like
smooth.
where did those 64 seconds go? Holy shit.
Okay, next one is from Iridescent Rose, who has been a longtime member of the community, and some people might remember that Iridescent Rose runs. I don't know if they are like supposed to be different communities or if it's just one giant homebrew community, but there's a PSP homebrew SDK that Iridescent is writing alongside the community. And there's a lot of people who still love good old PSP, like the first PSP. So that's pretty cool. So let's go.
All right, so for the software I want to show off today, this is the Crosscraft Classic server. It's basically a fully fledged Minecraft server for the original Minecraft Classic version 0.31. It is completely protocol compliant, and it's even featured on the list of Minecraft Classic servers. Either way, here's what the server looks like when you generate into default world. I'm using the Classic Cube Minecraft Classic client, and as you can see, it generates a classic style Minecraft world. If we go ahead and start with our C++ client here, this is the Crosscraft client, and we will be connecting to the classic Crosscraft WTF server. And just like that, we are on our community server here with all of our community builds on our custom client with our custom server. Crosscraft is a project with the goal to create an open source Minecraft client on a variety of different platforms. It would also simulate versions of Minecraft, both old and new. Make sure to join our community Minecraft server at the link above.
Cool.
Maybe we don't need that JVM backend after all. Yeah, that's bonkers.
That's cool that they're using Evented.io here. I didn't realize that there was like a serious project taking advantage of it.
Are you saying that Bork is not serious?
The second serious project.
Yeah, that was great. Okay, next one. Okay, this one is from Squeak, who has I don't know why, I love that nickname, and I love also Squeak's avatar.
I get excited whenever I see a pull request from Squeak. Yeah, it's always good.
Can you guess what this is gonna be?
Oh, well, no, I can't guess.
Okay, let's see.
I'm in the early stages of writing a cross-platform Windows resource definition script compiler with the intention of getting it merged into Zig. You start with an RC file, which then gets run through a C preprocessor, that then gets compiled into a .res file, that then gets linked into your executable file linker. This part is taken care of by Clang or ARCC in the future, and this part is taken care of by the linker, so this project only needs to handle this part. I'm writing this from scratch instead of porting another implementation because other similar projects are not one-to-one compatible with the Microsoft RC compiler. In this example, the quotes here change how this file is parsed, and each existing RC compiler handles it differently. My current code will explode on almost any other input, but it already handles this edge case the same as the Microsoft compiler. My ultimate goal is to fuzz test with the Microsoft compiler as an oracle to ensure identical outputs for every input, but it might take a while to get to that point.
That's it.
That was amazing. I also feel like I just experienced ASMR, which I didn't know was a thing I wanted. Like Windows development ASMR. I'm in. Let's go.
So can you recap what RC files are for the rest of us?
Yeah, as I understand it, they come from like the 90s Windows EXEs, and it's like icons and stuff for your executable. So it's like Windows is like way that they store resources inside of an executable. That's my understanding. And some applications like really took advantage of this. Like, I don't know if you ever played. I bet some people in the chat have played Castle of the Winds. I discovered it. It's a roguelike that you on Windows that used icons for everything, like literally Windows icons. And it was on one of those like mega like 200 shareware demo games, and like one of them was Castle of the Winds. But they used like this resource thing for everything.
Oh, I see.
I don't know. It's just kind of like a necessary thing if you're developing on Windows.
Yeah. Okay, next one is from Felix XQ, and it's the Cyclone game engine.
Hey, I'm XQ, and today I'm going to show you how to work with the Cyclone game engine. First, we have to build our level. This is done by this, and this will run in the background. Then we create a default camera, first-person camera we attach to the level or to the engine and have it have better defaults. Then we load our level file we just built. We then create a model file called laser.model in the engine. It has the behavior FPS weapon. The FPS weapon has a offset to the camera and a rotational offset to the camera. And then per frame we compute the positional offset by rotating the offset by the camera rotation and added it to the camera center. And we just copy the camera rotation and apply some nice offsets here. And if we compile that, it will take a minute. And then we got ourselves a first-person shooter. And that is how you build games with the Cyclone game engine.
Cool.
Yep. So, one more game engine in the Zig ecosystem. If Felix has, where does he find the time to make that much stuff? I
know he's so prolific.
Okay, the next one is from Leon, and it's called NFM. It's a file manager. Also, he's gonna say this, but I think it's worth repeating. He has a very nice article about how to do terminal UIs, TUIs, on Zig.News.
Hi, I am Leon, the terminal guy from Zig.News. This is NFM, a slightly different terminal file manager featuring real Miller columns, unlike the fake ones common in other terminal file managers, marks inspired by selections in the Cocoon editor, allowing you to operate on multiple files across multiple directories based on regular expressions in a way much more comfortable than shell globbing. Literally no file management operations. NFM will help you compile shell commands instead of trying to replace the shell. A quick way of navigating across different file systems. A decent mouse support for those who like it clicky, and good documentation. There's still some rough spots, but we're on a good track and I plan the first release in December this year. NFM spawned the ZigSpoon terminal library, which also powers this visualizer for my university study time, ignore my day-night cycle please, and this clone of a board game a friend and I like to play. If you're interested or have questions, send me an email or join us on IRC. And since I have it on good authority that some of the important Zig people will be present here, thanks.
I was gearing up for a much different kind of something than thank you. Wow, that was neat.
Yeah, it's crazy. That the time thing, that was really cool.
It looks like something that I would use.
Yeah, ZigSpoon seems very interesting. I am looking forward to actually simplify Borg a little bit one day. It's not my priority, but could be cool. Okay, final video. As I promised you all some more Matt Knight, so I kept him for last. But it's really cool. What he's gonna show is the project that they built for the workshop, actually running. So let's take a look.
Hey everyone, this is Matt Knight, and I'm here to demo the final project of Felix and my embedded workshop at Software You Can Love. It's all built on top of MicroZig, and we don't have a lot of time, so let's get started. So first we've got the build script. It's got a step for generating the ELF file, and then a step for generating the UF2 firmware image. Then we're going to start our serial monitor, and then we're going to program our board by dragging and dropping the UF2 file into the mounted drive. We can see logs from the serial connection, and as I turn the potentiometer, the servo turns as well. Pressing down on the encoder changes the mode so that it has fine-grained control over the rotation. Pressing it again causes us to return to our original state. Anyways, that's all the time I have. So if you're interested, please come join our Discord server. And have a good Zig Rush.
Cool.
Yeah, also this drawing is pretty cool.
Yeah. Joymox, right?
Yep.
That's beautiful.
Oh. Okay. So let me pull up the agenda. Okay, I think we went through everything. So for once, we are not gonna have a 3-hour long stream, and I think we can call it a day. It's been fun. Thank you everybody for watching. Andrew, I'm gonna give you a moment to say any final thought that you want, but just wanted to point out first that if you want more of this, join the Zig community, reach out, say hi, ask for help in Zig Help. People will always be there, willing to help you. We do not have a bunch of Zig books yet. We cannot teach you all of systems programming through Zig Learning materials yet. But people are going to be there for you. So, Andrew, is there anything you want to say before we call it a day?
Yeah. All right. Here's my closing notes. All of this stuff that we're looking at with Zig Rush is why I participate in Zig. It's not for startups to make money or, I don't know, getting money or trying to help businesses do economics or whatever. I don't really give a shit about that. I'm going to do that so that we can get donations to Zig so that we can stay alive and thrive. But the actual real reason that I work on Zig is for this right here. This makes me so happy to see.
Nice. Well, everyone, have a nice day.
Bye-bye, everyone.